looking at the numbers, if you were to just look at growth and I guess just extend the growth that we saw in the last year into the future, maybe it makes sense. I guess that's the real question. But these numbers, Perianne, revenue year over year up 847%. So 1.8 billion first quarter revenue versus 190 million. And net income jumping to roughly $750 million from 32 million. And then you got just assets because of what happened with crypto and mostly Bitcoin, 223 billion versus 90 billion at the end of 2020. Does that validate, does that justify a $100 billion market cap for Coinbase?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Coinbase is actually undervalued for two reasons. One, fast-growing companies deserve a higher multiple. And as you noted in their earnings call this week, we learned that in the first quarter of this year, they did 1.8 billion in revenue. They have a run rate of 7 billion, and they're expected to earn anywhere between 8 and 10 billion in revenue in 2021. So their valuation is 10x of that. For a fast-growing company that's growing at 400% year over year, they deserve a higher multiple. I think that multiple should be closer to 15x, which would really bring it more to 150 billion valuation. Fast-growing companies deserve higher multiples to revenue, but that's only the first reason. The second reason that I think Coinbase is undervalued is because Bitcoin is undervalued, and Coinbase's performance tracks very closely with Bitcoin's performance, and Bitcoin's undervalued based on multiple models.
There's a lot of ways to try to value Bitcoin. A lot of it is pretty arcane, but I think the CEO of Coinbase pointed out the 4 other times when Bitcoin has gone on a run like this, and kind of implying that this time it may have gotten above a certain level where we may not see the highs and lows of previous years, where we saw 20,000 and then we saw 4,000. So what do you think the low on Bitcoin will be? And then I don't just mean this year, but in general, how will it ever pull back below 35,000, below 30,000? When you say it's undervalued, what do you think it is valued? You a maximalist that think it should be $1 million a coin? I mean, where are you on the high and the low?
Metcalfe's law says that Bitcoin should be priced at $72,000 today. Metcalfe's law, that was formulated by one of our advisory board members, George Gilder, and it's a formula that many technology investors use today to value a network, and you just use user squared times the transaction value. That brings you to 72,000 today. Another model that we look at is stock to flow. Joe, I know you're very familiar with this. Stock to flow says Bitcoin should be priced at 100,000 to 288,000 this year. We have 12 years of data on stock to flow in Bitcoin, and if you measure it using US dollars, stock to flow is 94% correlated. And if you use gold, stock to flow is 99% correlated. And stock to flow also says Bitcoin will be $10,000 an ounce. One Bitcoin will be 10,000 ounces of gold in 2029. That's what people mean when they say Bitcoin is eating gold.